Hey everybody, Mike Naso here from podweather.com and IPR365.com with the latest on the tropics, and it is very active out there. For the first time since August of 1999 today, we had four named systems. We had Gustav, which is inland and no longer a tropical cyclone anymore. We have HANNA, of course, over the south central Bahamas and very close to the coast of Haiti. We have Ike, which is strengthening ominously, and it should become a hurricane tonight or tomorrow. And we have Josephine and yet another wave moving off, and if it becomes our next storm, it will be Kyle. So we are getting far down the name list as we begin September. Here's Tropical Storm HANNA as of 5 p.m. It was at 20.4 north, 72.7 west. Winds were 65 miles per hour, gusting to 75. It's moving to the south-southeast at 4 miles per hour, so drifting around. 987 millibars, anticipated that by Wednesday it should start to make a move. By Thursday, become a hurricane again, and then by the time Friday afternoon comes around, be nearing the coastline of Georgia and most likely South Carolina for a landfall. But again, if it makes more of a southerly track here, it could make landfall Thursday night in Florida. If it takes the right of track, it could make landfall on the Outer Banks by Saturday morning. And so there is that oblique angle that makes the time difference very important. You can see the visible satellite there is bursting, but clearly the shear is starting to have an impact on it, and that might be why it's been drifting around. But if it gets too close to Haiti, not only will those heavy rains continue, but it may eventually get caught up over the island. Of course, that'd be good news to weaken it and break it down, but it is expected to make that move up towards the coastline and accelerate. There's the models, and they're in pretty good agreement that after it diddle-daddles around up here, it's going to head towards the coastline. The No Gaps has it coming into Florida, of course. UK Met up into South Carolina. Most of the models, Georgia, South Carolina. So you have to begin getting your hurricane plans ready for a Category 1 or 2 storm. Now this is Ike, and Ike could mean big problems down the road. At 19.2 north, 46.3 west. Winds are up to 65, gusting to 75, moving straight west at a very quick 17, 996 millibars. It should become a hurricane later tonight or tomorrow, and then continue in west-northwest and then bend west and west-southwest. And by Sunday afternoon, it could be nearing the eastern coast of Cuba. And again, it doesn't look like this one's going to make any turns out to sea, and it does look like it could become a formidable force. You can see as the visible satellite goes down there, very impressive. You can see it better on the IR. Right at the end there, we're getting the deep convection starting to wrap around, so Ike is on its way to becoming a hurricane. Here are the models for Ike, and again, with the exception of the UK Met and climatology says they turn out usually this far east. All the models are in agreement with west-northwest, then west-southwest. The No Gaps does have it getting dangerously close to southeast Florida. The GFS takes it down over Cuba into the Caribbean, as does the Canadian as it comes over Hispaniola. And given the due west motion from this, this may have to be adjusted further south. There's a chance that Hurricane Ike, when it does become a hurricane, could be out here in the Atlantic moving west and end up in the northwest Caribbean Sea. It could actually lose latitude. Very interesting. We're going to have to watch it. Josephine is strengthening out there up to 50 miles per hour, moving west-northwest at 13. It's at 13.7 north, 25.9 west, 1,000 millibars. It should become a hurricane the next 2 days, and then start to encounter more unfavorable winds and weaken. As of right now, it might start to bend back a little west, but this one may not make it nearly as far west as Ike, but we'll have to wait and see. You could definitely see Josephine strengthening there, looking very well organized, and then look at this massive wave moving off. Could this be Kyle? Well, we'll see what happens. You can see Ike there looking better as well. The wind shear for Ike won't be a problem, although in the later part of the period there may be some northeasterly shear. We'll see how that plays. HANNA should have a much better environment about 24 hours, and then you can see a very favorable environment as Gustav has departed into the southeast. Again, you can still see with Gustav a lot of good moisture with it. HANNA has a ton of moisture. A lot is not even the word. A very large amount of moisture associated with it, but as it comes on out, it should be able to organize into a hurricane. How strong of one? Probably not any stronger than a Category 2 hurricane. At the very most, it might become a Cat 3, but again, the likelihood of that, as of right now, with as ill-defined as it is not likely at all. In the East Pac, we have Tropical Storm Karina, 40 miles per hour. No problems with that. I'm Mike Naso from IPR. Stay tuned.